What is going on YouTube? So in this video, I'm just going to do a very short and easy installation video of this Canton coolant tank that is actually going to replace the factory Vortech and Paxton plastic tank. If you have this kit, these tanks are really bad. They have a glued seam, and over time, with heat, expansion, all that good stuff, the seam will actually spread open and you will spring a leak. Mine is actually starting to leak from the bottom of the tank. So I decided to buy this Canton tank. As a matter of fact, right now on eBay, Canton actually has a blemish unit listing, which mine came with 2 small scratches right here. And once this tank sets into place, you will never see those scratches. So you actually save like $150 if you can handle a couple scratches on your tank. So that was a no-brainer for me. I'm always up for saving money. So anyways, to get started on this, I noticed that my car in particular, I don't know about your all setup, because this car already had this kit installed when I bought it, but we have 2 crimp fittings right here, and we have to reuse this nipple from this plastic tank onto the Canton tank. So what I want to do, as you can already see, I have these normal style clamps that you can actually just use a pair of pliers. I use this small little pair right here to release the tension on these clamps and pull them out of the way, so I can just rotate this hose together, because I don't want to take these clamps off or cut them off because I don't have any spare clamps to use. So what I'm going to do is just pop these hoses off and just let this freely spin, this whole teat and everything, just so I can avoid ruining these clamps and then getting a leak later down the road. So I'm gonna go ahead and find out the size for this. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect these lines. I'm gonna grab some rags because we may have some residual coolant in these lines that will probably want to leak out on us. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And another thing we need to do, if you guys have a strut bar like my car has, the strut bar needs to come off so you can actually get access to this lid. You can't actually take that lid off, so we have to reuse that lid on our new tank. So strut bar does need to come up on this side. I think I'm just going to take it off completely, that way we can have more room. It is possible to just undo this side and raise it up, but it's only 4 nuts it looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead, get these disconnected, some paper towel shoved in there, and let's get started on removing this tank. Okay, so as you can see, I've popped off the coolant hoses off this tee. I just shoved some paper towel in each of these lines, and I tucked them out of the way. This one's underneath the wiring harness. There wasn't any coolant that actually came out of those, but I just decided to play it safe and put paper towels inside of the hoses anyway. But this is what I was talking about. I'm just going to leave these clamps all together. And then this was actually a 15. I don't have a 15mm wrench, so I'm using a 9/16. So as you can see, it just fits right over it. And I got it loosened up, and we can actually take this off, and we're just going to reuse this hose on our new tank. So there's step 1. And now I'm going to take off the strut bar. And the nuts holding the strut bar are actually 13mm, and you just have 4 of them, 2 on each side. So I have the bar off, and I just placed the nuts on top of the other existing studs. That way I can just keep track of these and I don't have to worry about losing them. So now, as you can see, with the bar out of the way, we can get access to these bolts that seem to be holding the tank on. It looks like we have 1 up front, and I believe there are 3. If I can get my camera to show you guys, you have 2 up top, and the 3rd one's in the center. So those look to be, let's see what those are. I have an 11 right here, and matter of fact, these seem to be an 11. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen these up and get the tank off the mounts, and then we can focus on this hose. So it looks like I'm going to have to source a hose clamp because they use a crimp fitting on this one that goes onto the bottom of the tank. So just a heads up, if you guys don't have hose clamps, like I don't, you may need one or a couple actually, but we can reuse the ones up top. But this one, unfortunately, we can't reuse because that's slid over the nipple that is integrated into the tank itself. So I'm gonna go source a clamp and then get those 3 bolts removed, and then we should be able to remove the tank. So each of these 4 little bolts have a washer on them, so I highly recommend using a magnet to help you retrieve them when you are removing them. So now, with all that removed, we actually have access to remove the tank now. So this is where we're gonna make a mess and carefully pull that hose off this tank. So I knew I was gonna make a mess, but actually didn't make that big of a mess. I actually just left this clamp on and just muscled that coolant hose off, and luckily if you just keep it tilted up, it actually doesn't lose any coolant. But as soon as it comes off this will leak. So as soon as I pop it off, I hurry and tilted the tank upright like this. I still have the lid on it, and most of the coolant is still in this tank. So I'm just going to transfer this coolant to the new tank whenever I start to put it back in. So I did lose some. If this was a normal hose clamp, I could have just slid it back and slowly rocked the hose off and kept them both pointing up in the air and would have prevented this. Now I'm going to try to just squeeze this clamp off because this cannot be reused, and that way I don't lose any length of this hose because I didn't want to cut it. So now I'm going to source a hose clamp and get the new tank started up. Okay, so I was able to source a hose clamp for this hose now. So I'm just going to go ahead, actually I'm just going to leave that right here, and I'm going to show you guys what we need to do next. So we need to stick an Allen wrench inside this little plug right here and take it out and plug it into the rear of the tank on that left upper corner right there. And then once that plug is on the back, you can actually screw in this 3-way T now. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so this Allen head actually happens to be a standard size, and I believe it's the largest one in this toolkit right here. And the largest one happens to be a 5/64. So that's what you need to take out this plug. Make sure to put some Teflon tape on your fitting so that way we won't have any risk of leaks. So I now have this T tightened up with it facing the way it came out. So now all we have to do now is just set it back in place with the brackets and start our little bolts. So actually I found that it would be easier just to go ahead and start that bottom coolant line and then finger tighten these bolts, because now all we need to do is just kind of mess around with this back bracket and get those started. I'm just going to get them in finger tight, make sure everything looks like it's in place and not in a bind, and then we can go ahead and torque everything down. So I found it to be much easier to leave everything finger tight and actually lift this bracket off these strut studs right here, so that way you have way easier access to getting these back bolts started. So with everything in place and everything looks like it's fitting alright and you have no issues with fitment, you can go ahead and start torquing those 11mm bolts down, and then we can go ahead and get our strut bar situated and go ahead and start filling our tank up. Because now with the strut bar on, it's not going to block our access to our cap anymore. So this tank is a win-win all the way around. You have easier coolant access, it looks better, and it's going to perform a lot better. Okay, so next up is make sure you don't forget to put in your smaller coolant lines back into the T and clamp them down securely. And now I'm just going to pour this existing coolant from this tank into the funnel into the new Canton tank, and then we can just top it off as necessary, and that is the install. It's pretty much straightforward, and it's a massive upgrade, and it looks good under the hood too. So here it is, installed, with me cleaning up everything. All the rags and everything's out of the way, so you guys can get a better look of how it's going to sit inside your engine bay. And you can already tell the fitment of this tank is so much better because it does not rub up against the coil covers like the plastic tank did. So the fitment is a lot better, the quality is a lot better, it looks a lot better. Eventually I may try to find a billet cap because that does look out of place, but I can definitely tolerate that, especially for the added net of safety of not losing coolant everywhere. So I'm going to show you guys where mine was split, and you can see down here at the bottom where it's wet, that's where the seam was wanting to start to split, and you can see the seam goes right down the middle at the lowest point of the tank. So it's just a very terrible design, because once that seam goes, it's where all the fluid's going to sit, so it's guaranteed to leak. So this is a must for Paxton and Vortech owners. So this right here I would highly recommend. Anyways, thanks for watching.